crafters, it's Cynthia again. I am back with another video, and this time I am going to do some cards, actually, some Christmas note cards. So I hope that you will stick with me through the video, and I will try to cut corners and speed up and do various things to hopefully keep the time down just a bit. So this is going to be a set of 4 note cards, and I went ahead and cut some of the pieces out of my Silhouette Studio software, and I purchased these from the Silhouette Studio design store, and they are just really cute and pretty simple, but that just kind of leaves the door wide open for you to embellish it as you would like. So you'll see that there's some different shapes, but I'm going to start with this ornament. And for the base, I just have a piece of the My Favorite Things craft cardstock, and I like using this as a card base because it's a very nice heavyweight cardstock, and I don't like to have wimpy card bases. I like my card bases to be pretty stiff and feel substantial in the recipient's hand. So set that aside, and how this comes together is these are actually meant, I think they're even called pop-up or pop dot note cards or something like that. So the idea is you're supposed to cut out this main piece and pop it up. I went ahead and just used some clippings from my craft foam sheet, and it's meant to stand away from the front of your card like so, which is very cute. And then there's a little square that you also cut out of any patterned paper that you enjoy, and I thought this little holly paper was so sweet. This is a Doodlebug Designs paper, and it's from the Here Comes Santa Claus Christmas collection that's new this year. So I got this also out of the 6x6 pad, so the design is at 50% scale like they are. So anyway, this is meant to slide underneath so that you can see the pattern through that ornament shaped hole. So very cute. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get that attached down, and since it's a small piece, I'm just going to use my little tape runner here. Yeah, I was at the craft store, and I finally was like, okay, gosh darn it, I'm gonna get the ATG gun, I need one, blah blah blah. And I had a coupon, so I go over to the one that was hanging on the shelf, and it was $39.99, and I almost fell over. I was complaining about spending $27.99. Well, guess what? I'm sure not going to spend $40 on it if I'm refusing to spend $28. So anyway, I walked away, and I'm just going to use this in the meantime and glue. Okay, so here's this piece, and there is actually a little ornament topper. I went ahead and cut this out of a real pretty silver cardstock. And this, excuse me, this is another My Favorite Things cardstock. And it's very, very nice. And if you're looking for a beautiful, truly reflective cardstock, I recommend the MFT. It comes in silver, gold, copper, and I don't know if there's any others, but they're beautiful. And it's a little bit thicker, so I allowed for that when I cut it out of my Silhouette, but it cut just fine. All right, so I'm gonna get that settled there. All right, very cute. Now, as I mentioned, these card fronts are, darling, and they're pretty kind of plain, if you will. So I decided that I was going to go ahead and use all these beautiful little holes and do a little bit of needlework. So what I did, I had some nice twine, red and white twine in my stash, and I've got a nice big roll of it. So I decided that I was going to go ahead and get out a tapestry needle and thread this through the holes. And my idea is I want to tie a bow here at the top when I'm all done. So what I'm going to do to start is I'm going to pull this through the top hole and leave myself a bit of an end here. And I want it long enough so I can comfortably tie a bow. And then I'm just going to start going up and down through all the holes. And this is something I enjoy. I've been a needle worker ever since I was about 10 years old. I did crewel embroidery, needlepoint, and now mostly I do cross stitch. But I've got lots of needles and threads and various things in my collection. So this is something I actually enjoy doing. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this done. And by the way, I cut a yard of this, which I hope is going to be long enough. I guess we'll find out. Anyway, I'll go ahead and get this done and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I ended up having more than enough, which was awesome. And so now that I have my ends here, I'm just going to go ahead and tie that little bow. And of course, everybody has their own little method of tying bows. I just kind of do my thing, and generally they work out well enough. And then of course twine, this twine in particular, is very soft and user-friendly, and it holds its shape, meaning it retains its twist very well. All right, so I'm going to get my scissors and snip that off. Perfect. All right. So this time I went ahead and glued my foam down to the paper first, so that all I have to do is go through, take off the tabs, and then it'll be ready to stick right down to the project. And the only trick is that you want to use a quick drying glue and then give it a chance to set up really well ahead of time. Oops. And that way, when it comes time to peeling off your papers, you know you aren't going to accidentally pull up the foam. Okay. And this foam is nice and sticky, so once it goes down, that's where it's going to live. So let me get a little bit. All right, I think that's good enough. Go ahead and pat that down. And isn't that sweet? And then on the inside, my daughter is so funny. Every time I make a card, the first thing she does is she takes it in her hands and she opens it up and goes, nothing. And so I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have got to start putting things inside the card. So now that I have my Cameo, I have some of the pens, the sketch pens, and so I can write whatever sentiment I want. So this just says, may your holiday season be filled with joy. And then I just clipped the corners here with my little corner rounder. And then go ahead get that taped up and get that centered best I can. All right, so now when she picks up these cards, she'll pop it open and there's a message for her. So she'll be satisfied and I'll be satisfied. She's a tough kid. She doesn't let you get away with anything. Okay, so I think that's super cute. So that is the first one down, and the next one is very similar, and this time it's a candy cane, and this cut file came with a little bow to put in the center, and then I found in that same Here Comes Santa Claus paper pack, I found this really nice red and white stripe. So that of course will go in the center. So let me get this settled down. And I think I'll open that up. Just kind of eyeballing the center again. So that should work out just fine. Obviously you just want to make sure that when you're looking through this opening, the only thing you see is paper. You don't want to accidentally see the edge of your craft cardstock or anything. Okay, so I am going to yet again take some more twine. I'll take another yard of this, and this will look really cute with that candy cane in particular. But anyway, let me go ahead and get this measured out, get that stitched, and tie that bow, and then I'll come back for you. Okay, so I went ahead and finished stitching. Trim this a bit first. All right, whoops. And get this tied. Okay, get rid of my scraps. Okay, so I've already attached that down, and again I've put foam tape on the back. Peel up these pieces. I really like being able to trim the foam pieces to whatever I'd like. That's convenient. All right. Okay, so that's that piece down, and then here is the bow. I'm just going to use my aqua glue for this. And again, when you're doing this yourself, you can give things proper drying time. I don't have that luxury when I'm making a video. So I'm going to attach the inside piece. Yeah, I don't know. Not a lot of stamp companies give you an inside sentiment, you know. I mean, you can put anything you want inside. You know, you could just stamp Merry Christmas on the inside. But as far as actual wording and sentences and things like that, they're harder to find. So it's very nice to be able to make your own. Okay. And of course, you know, you can print anything from your computer onto a piece of paper as well. So don't feel like you need a Silhouette machine or a Cricut or anything. Okay, so there is that. And then the one little thing I wanted to add, I purposefully bought the Christmas red Stickles. I couldn't believe I didn't have red Stickles in my collection already, but I specifically bought this at the craft store last time I was there because I knew I'd be doing Christmas cards and tags. So I'm going to just put down a generous layer. I'm not being, you know, too perfect because I'm going to spread this out with just this little embossing tool that I have. I didn't want to use my finger, and I certainly couldn't use a Q-tip because that would leave behind a bunch of fuzz. And this is why I wanted that ribbon glued down very thoroughly, because the Stickles is of course very wet since it's a glitter glue, and it'll make that paper curl up if it weren't attached. And of course this is going to have to dry, I would say a good hour. So be prepared to have your items sit aside. But look at how absolutely beautiful that is. Oh my goodness. I love sparkle. And what a perfect time of year to sparkle as much as you can. All right, so there is the candy cane. So that is card number 2. And the third option, cap that real quick. The third card that I made, I went ahead and did the stitching already, and I also put the piece of paper down on the inside and glued that down. And then this paper, again, is from that same Doodlebug Here Comes Santa Claus paper pad, and this is so cute. I don't know if you can see it very well. I'll try to bring it forward. It's just a little family of reindeer, a daddy and a mommy and a little baby reindeer. So I thought that was awful precious. And then it, because of the daddy's collar and the mama's bow, it brings in the red, and then of course their soft browns bring in that craft color. So as usual, I'm going to attach this in the center of my card base. Not upside down, please. So let's see. Okay, that should be just about right. And then this piece is going to go on top, and you can see there's a little mitten that's cut out. So peel away my foam tape. Alright. Boy, that stuff is sticky, which is great, but you gotta be careful. Okay. So I think that looks about right. I don't know how much it's coming across on screen, but there's a lovely shadow between the cutout and the paper beneath, which is really pretty. So when you're looking at it in person, you can absolutely tell that it's a multi-layer card. Alright, so this is the cuff of the mitten, and I just cut this out of craft. It's actually a different company's craft, so it's a little darker brown, but that's pretty. Because the daddy reindeer is a little darker like this, and then the mama reindeer is lighter like this. So even though they're two different colors, there's parts of them that are the same, or that match. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, the glitter glue has gone to my head. Okay, so that little heart is going to go in the center, and I could pop this up, but I decided not to. Actually, I'm not going to use that sticky tool. I need more control, sorry. Because like I said, I really want to get this adhered as securely as possible. So I'm going to rub that glue all the way to the edges and then pop it down. All right, hold that just for a moment. Get it real nice. And then I am also going to put the stickles on this heart. Who doesn't want a glittery red heart? I love mittens, and there are so many adorable mitten stamps and mitten die cuts, so you're going to see a lot more mittens coming up during my Christmas and winter themed videos. So I'm going to rub that around the edge, get this flattened. There we go. Very, very cute. I hope that's coming across, all that gorgeous sparkle. So anyway, I have to set this one aside to dry as well. And then the final, the fourth pattern out of this little set, again, I already put the paper inside. I already did the stitching around the edge and tied my bow. And then I'm using that same reindeer paper, which is just too cute. I thought I had a piece of gingerbread paper somewhere, but I couldn't find it, so that's okay. I think the Doodlebug Christmas paper from a year or two ago had a gingerbread paper, but for all I know, I used it. Okay, so put that in the center. And this piece I cut actually just a tiny bit larger because that gingerbread is actually pretty tall. Little gingerbread guy. All right, so he is going to sit here. So again, as a little embellishment, there's another heart that'll go right on him. And I will glue that down, and of course you know I'm going to glitter this one as well. So the only one that doesn't glitter is that first ornament card, but then that had the silver metal on it, so that's kind of its little embellishment. All right, beautiful. See, just that little bit of sparkle gives so much life. All right, and believe it or not, I think we have a set of cards. Let me pull these forward again, being careful of the stickles to give you a whole look at how sweet this is. Perfect. And these are all the A2 size cards, meaning they're 5.5 by 4.25, and they're top folding cards, but they'll fit into any standard sized envelope. So this would be such a cute little hostess gift for someone. You put all 4 of these, 4 envelopes, tie it together with a pretty ribbon, and you'll have a fabulous little gift to give someone this holiday season. So thank you so much for joining me. I had a lot of fun. You can look forward to many more Christmas themed videos coming up soon, and take care, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.